All right, here we go. Episode 5. So, what should we start discussing first?
I don't know. There's been a lot of fucking shit happens. That's kind of how it is with MMA. What do you want to start with? We can go in.
Well, I guess we'll start with one thing. I'm fucking Nostradamus because I picked the sugar fucking era to start. I'm so happy I got that prediction right. I had some guy in the comments calling me a fucking clown, and now who is the clown, motherfucker?
The clown is the champion, is what? Sean
Yeah.
O'Malley. I don't mean that in the sense he's a fucking. I just mean with the whole fucking the colour and everything. But yeah, I didn't see it coming. I wasn't writing him off or anything. I wasn't sold on the you know the thing that went around Twitter for a while of that picture of James Lynch's fucking MMA fighters pick, and it was like 32-2 for fighters who picked. I didn't really understand that. I always thought O'Malley had a chance, especially when I feel like from pretty early on we all agreed that O'Malley wasn't a slouch on the ground. I feel like we always agreed they had quite good jiu-jitsu after they did that Polaris thing. Or not Polaris, it was Quinte Ultra, the thing with Anthony Smith. He submitted Takanori Gomi. We kind of got it from that. We've seen he had a pretty decent ground game against Jan, who's got an underrated offensive grappling game. And he always was going to have that chance of just catching Aljo on the chin. He's not got a glass chin, but he's a bit hit and miss with the shots he can take. But yeah, I will not act like I didn't go with Aljo. I said it on the show. I thought Aljo would win, but I did think it was going to be a decision. I thought it was going to be like 4-1, 3-2, but I did not see it coming in the way that it did, especially with Aljo having quite minimal success as well.
Yeah, just one quick thing I want to mention with that Quinlet fucking grappling. They fucking Sean O'Malley subbed Takanori Gomi, and then he got fucking Hector Lombard next.
Yeah,
Hector Lombard just fucking ragdolled him.
no.
It was so fucked up. Because I watched that one live, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, literally, Hector Lombard's like fucking 60 pounds fucking heavier than Sean O'Malley. He literally just fucking ragdolls him. It was so fucking unfair.
Underrated little fucking event to put together there. A lot of people haven't watched that, but it was quite fun. I had like WC versus UFC versus Pride and shit. I can't remember. Yeah, it was fucking good though. It was good.
And I think it was like Fury FC veterans or something like that as well. Because they had Alex Morono.
I think it was. It might have been Strikeforce or something. Maybe another team. But I remember the fucking Arsene Cub Sonson blew his fucking knee out. Do you know?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, Jesus. But yeah, talking about that fight. So you know what the most fucked up part about that?
Oh wait, hold on. Give me fucking 2 seconds quickly. I've really do quickly.
Yeah, that's really. So if anyone's looking to sponsor us, you know, we're looking. We can take any sponsorships, you know. You know, we can sponsor Mondello. We can, if Dustin Poirier needs a hot sauce sponsorer, you know, we're here. You know, anyone willing to throw some dosh our way, we will sell out. You know, we're willing to sell out for some money. All right.
So you got the fucking wall of ideas behind me. The fucking Angus Hewitt tune though. About the secret exposed.
I was just saying that we're willing to sell out for money while you're gone. If any sponsors want to sponsor us,
that's literally what I said when you were gone last time. I started saying we should get like our faces and that, or the logo put in the mat for like a Cage Wars event or something.
Yeah, that's our thing. And either of us have to go away while we're filming, while we're gone, the other one has to fucking try and get some sponsorships.
Or if we do get a sponsor, that's when we do the sponsor read. We don't stop it halfway through and go, now we've got to talk about our sponsor, Manscaped. We've got to just date whenever someone has to fucking go do something.
I love the Submission Radio one, how they would just randomly mention, like, your balls are hairy? Well, here's the perfect thing to fucking, you know, shave your balls. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I fucking felt bad for the Submission Radio guys when they do that interview with Eugene Behrman, and he started going at them.
He was being a dick.
I know, because those guys, they two guys seem like some of like the most genuine guys that do the MMA stuff. Like, seem just not just MMA fans or just cool guys. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
there's
he's
a couple
calling them clickbaiters. Like, out of all the reporters in the fucking world, Submission Radio is the third thing from fucking clickbaiters. Like,
what did he even say that got him? Like, he suggested
does Hamzat deserve a title shot?
He didn't say, so why is it Adesanya ducking Hamzat's match? He said, does Hamzat deserve title? You know, yeah, you fucking, like, it was so weird, man.
He's like, has Hamzat fought at middleweight? It's like, well, yeah, he actually fucking has. He knocked out GM3 in 14 seconds. He fucking, I was gonna say the
I
word
beat
I
John Phillips.
but he treated John Phillips like, you know, he dropped the soap in prison pretty much.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
He has fought at middleweight. It's not like we haven't seen Hamzat Chimaev at middleweight. And look, even fucking he beat Ikram Aliskerov at like a 79 kilo fucking catch weight.
Mm-hmm.
And Ikram's fighting a ranked competitor, so fucking Hamzat's got plenty of fucking reason to be asked if he can jump in for a title shot, especially when there was no contenders at the time. Obviously now with Dricus, but now they're saying Hamzat's going to jump through Dricus, so I don't fucking know. They're just playing mind games. They did the same shit with Whitaker when Whitaker was meant to fight Adesanya the second time. They're like, you know, Brunson might get the title shot. He beat Darren Till. It's like, shut the fuck up.
I don't know, man. Not much really going there. I just wanted to bring it up. I just thought it was kind of fucking strange, to be honest.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, I don't know why. In Submission Radio has been pretty good to him, so I don't know why he would treat them like that. That was just really weird. Like, I'm sure Eugene's not. Maybe it was just a bad day for him. Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's just a couple. The CKB team's a bit weird in general. There's a couple guys that I just think are just there and are just like, I ain't got anything bad to say about like Shane Young or like Carlos Oberg or something and Dan Hooker bad on. Some of the guys there are just, there's a bit of a weird vibe. The thing that Emma always says is that Eugene Bareman just fucking poached all the talent from another gym and just bumped his own gym after they'd all already like become full martial artists, and he just claimed to have created his own gym basically.
Well, yeah, because I'm pretty sure Brad Riddell wasn't even at CKB for ages, and I'm pretty sure Dan Hooker was at his own gym. Pretty sure Adesanya, though, I'm pretty sure Adesanya was his product, though, because
early on, at least, he's probably one of the top ones from when the gym started.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just waiting till like a fucking New Zealand prospect comes out that isn't in CKB. That'll be amazing because I don't know if it's a bit weird. Every single fucking New Zealand fighter literally fights out of CKB. Like, at least for the Australian fighters, it's all different gyms. Like, I don't know. It's just weird that every single fighter is out of one single little gym in New Zealand.
I guess when it's just got the reputation that it does, you do want to go there. And if there isn't a better alternative, then I guess not much of a choice. But yeah, it would be cool to see some different gyms pop up.
Yeah, definitely. Did you want to talk about the UFC 6?
We can definitely get into UFC 6. I've got about a page and a half worth of notes for the event. Yeah, I'm good.
So we'll just explain to the people who are watching. So we did like a little raffle where we were going to watch like an old event back in the day, and we chose the year 1995, I think. It was 1995, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the little wheel picked the UFC 6, so we rewatched the event.
Clash of the Titans.
I said, you know, it's really good how they used to name the fucking events, but I feel like they ran out of names they could come up with, and like, all right, we're gonna fucking cut this shit out now.
One used to do it as well. There used to be like one Full Strike, one Frost Giants or some shit like that. Do you know what I mean? But then one started doing one Fight Night 15 and stuff like that. So they kind of gave up as well.
You know, get to like UFC 185, Clash of the Titans 26. Like, they would run out of fucking names to use after a while. Like, there's not enough fucking variations of fighting and fucking shit you could do for that many events.
UFC 292 Testosterone. It's the most fucking basic shit they can think of.
But what notes did you get down? Actually, one point I want to add that fucking what was that guy's name? Carl
Washam.
Yeah, the Taekwondo fucking instructor, Taekwondo black belt, comes out like a fucking bear, comes out like Mike Perry against a fucking 6'8", fucking 300-pound monster. Like, that was so unexpected. I was watching the fight and I'm like, damn, is this guy going to come out there throwing some front kicks, fighting all technical and shit? But no, he just runs out fucking brawling. There was no technique at all. But I loved it. That was amazing. That was probably the highlight of the card for me.
Yeah, so obviously a great location as well. Casper, Wyoming is where this event took place. And unfortunately for any of the hardcore LAUFC fans, I couldn't find the alternate bounce anywhere, so no breakdowns unfortunately for Anthony Macias versus He-Man Ali Gibson. I know about all my Ali Gibson fans that are upset about that one. And no breakdown for Joe Sutton's Jack McLaughlin either. But I think the first fight on the actual quarterfinal thing was Tank Abbott versus John Matua, which was a 20-second punch KO. It was some fucking punch, man. The way Tank Abbott slapped people was so funny.
Oh my god, fucking! You know the thing. I love going back and watching Tank Abbott fights. Like I can't even lie. Tank Abbott is like like I don't know. I feel like because heavyweight really hasn't evolved, because Tank wrestles and punches, it'd probably still have like somewhat success in like the UFC if he was like, if you put a prime Tank Abbott into the fucking modern era. Because like if you watch some of his fights, he actually fights to a game plan. Like he'll actually come out and just wrestle, and then other fights brawl.
He probably would have been undersized, I think, would maybe the issue. I think some of the heavyweights are a bit bigger now, so I think that'd be his main issue.
Yeah, that's true. Did you ever watch his fight against Kimbo Slice?
Yes, the notoriously one, yeah.
Yeah, where he was like fucking 45 years old against Kimbo Slice. Yeah, that was a... Oh, I wish we got to see him in their prime, but I love Tank Abbott fights. But yeah, that KO was fucking nasty.
The only one I know about Fabulum was that John Matua was dressed like a security guard that just got into the cage. Like the attire these stuff the guys wear for the UFC events was ridiculous.
Oh, that's like the charming thing about those old events. You can choose what gloves you wear. You can choose if you wear shoes or not. It's like there's so much variety in the shit. You actually know Tank Abbott is the reason why those gloves, like the 4-ounce gloves, he was the initiator of the 4-ounce gloves in MMA. He was the first guy to ever wear them. And then it caught on to everyone else.
Oh, look at the trendsetter Tank Abbott. That's what they called him.
Yeah, I know. Out of all the people, nobody would have fucking expected. It was Tank Abbott who was the fucking innovator of the 4-ounce gloves. Fucking, you know, all the people who have almost lost their eyes probably, you know, hate Tank Abbott. Still.
Sure. Better than, you know, the Art Emerson fucking one boxing glove, one bare knuckle, to be honest. I mean, it came out a long way.
Yeah, that was fucking insane. But yeah, so let me hear some of your notes you got on the UFC 6 event.
Yeah, so in the next fight, was one you're talking about was the Paul Varelas versus Cal Worsham fight. My first note was just, holy fuck, the size difference. This is the one where...
Oh, yeah.
But Worsham came out swinging, and my note was fair play to him. But a questionable back of the head KO, maybe? Like, it looks like he kind of just smacks him right in the back of an elbow and puts him out cold.
It was a predecessor to the Gregory Rodriguez, Dennis Tuolin finish. It was a divine intervention that we watched this event, and then the same thing happened.
I mean, we set this up, and I watched it way before 292. I watched this on like a Thursday or something.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
so very strange coincidence there, but yeah, fair play to Worsham, man. He came out swinging and then slapped that back of the head elbow. The next fight was Patrick Smith and Rudyard Montayo, another quick finish. It was a minute-long round. I was going to say, they didn't have rounds at this point. This is when it was just a time limit, right? There was no rounds. It was just goes on until...
I think it was, 5 minutes. You get a finish.
So I wrote round one, but it wasn't. It was 1 minute into the overall fight. It was a rear naked choke. It was immediate. Smith just sprinted across the field, just front kicked him and just sat him down. And then he got... Honestly, one of the coolest rear naked chokes ever in UFC history. He just grabbed him and just pulled him down. There was like no setup, no taking it back, no putting it in. He just fucking Dolph Ziggler zigzagged him like WWE. Just took him down and just fucking subbed him. It was one of the coolest setups that I really have ever seen before in a fight.
The one thing I love about watching all these old fights, because after I watched 6, I watched 7, 8. I watched the Ultimate. I watched the Ultimate 2.
The Ultimate. So bad.
The thing about watching them cards is as soon as anyone gets gassed out, they literally just tap out. Like there was, I forget what fight it was, but a guy just got top mounted, and instead of taking any damage while gassed out, he literally just tapped as soon as he was top mounted. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like if anyone did that in the modern day era, they would be fucking crucified.
Well, this is when people forget, like, the UFC was literally just get guys who are good at one thing and see who wins, which, looking back at it, was a setup for jiu-jitsu to never lose, basically. Like all the other guys were just like, they didn't know what jiu-jitsu was, so they got down, they got on a submission, they had no idea what they were doing, so they just...
I honestly, I want there to be like a promotion that's that's just like the exact same as the original UFC, because in the original few UFC events, they would just take your word for your record. Like there was one guy that was like, I'm 200-0 in Mexican MMA or some like random sport that doesn't exist. And then there was this one guy who fought on the card who was literally a fucking porn star owner, or, you know, a pawn shop owner. Like
Yeah.
not like a pawn shop as in like where they sell goods. Like he literally owned like a sex shop.
Yeah, I think it was on an MMA on point video once, but
Yeah, like, and he got fucking
yeah,
smoked.
yeah, it was fun though, like that. But definitely looking back at it, the jiu-jitsu guys always stepped up, and House Gracie was never going to lose any of the other ones. But yeah, there's a certain charm to it, and that's what the next fight after that. That was the guy who we were actually talking about him on the podcast, and then immediately after that, it was the guy of the event, the man of the moment. It was Oleg Taktarov versus
Yeah.
Dave Banato, a 57-second guillotine. This is when I made the point out the little, you know how at modern UFC you've got like coming up next it's down. They show the graphic for the fighters. It's also just a picture of them, and the Oleg Taktarov's one was like him next to like a bush or something, and it was just his face in front of like a tree. It's like they just took these pictures at random places. And then the best thing about early UFC is the little like training footage they show before the fight. Like, rather than showing them their fight highlights, because they didn't have like highlights at that point. It's just them like in like the woods and like on a hill, just like punching area.
I love it. Like it was like fucking Tank Abbott with his arms crossed, like in front of a fucking house or something. It's like what?
Just and like some like golf club like on like the field,
Yeah.
just like punching area bag. It was so funny. Taktarov's one was.
It's literally there's so much charm to watching these old events. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel fucking real. Like I know people say that UFC and MMA and all that isn't like a real sport, but literally back then it wasn't. Like you know Scott Forenzo, the guy he beat Tank Abbott in a fight, big fat guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So he had a fight in an MMA like in an MMA gym where there's window like you can see outside the windows and all this shit. It was literally a sanctioned bout. It was at the time it was a sanctioned bout, and it was just on a fucking MMA mat, and you could see cars driving past the window and shit like that. And it was a sanctioned bout. This was in like 1996 or something like that.
I think they need to revert back to the good old days. But this was the fight when I noticed a bunch of things. Like I don't know why I didn't pick up until now. Was that Michael Buffer was announcing? That was kind of strange. I don't know if Bruce it was his brother. That was weird. And then they cut to David Hasselhoff in the front row, which was so weird. Like fair play to him, man. He showed up early. UFC 6. Hasselhoff was getting in it. People always give credit to like Trump and like other celebrities that show up all the time, but dude, Hasselhoff was there early.
And I bet that would have been massive for that time area because that would have been when Baywatch and all that shit would have been out. So yeah, that would have been massive for the UFC at the time.
And this was basically just the Beneteau guy beating up Taktarov until he got guillotined, and somehow Beneteau got cut open from winning the fight. It was like beating up Oleg, and then just got cut open from like thin air. Like he was taking too much damage to give, and he ended up getting cut open. I don't get how that happened.
Yeah, there was also the second Oleg fight. It was a bit weird. He got like a 9-second submission, but the weird shady bit about that is that guy was his ex-teammate, so there was a lot of controversy if that was rigged or not.
Yeah, that was a great. By the way, to finish up on that, that was actually really good transition to the guillotine from Taktarov. But yeah, then the fight after that was the fight with him and Macias. It was a 9-second guillotine. After that, I was like, that has to be at least even now one of the quickest subs in UFC history. 9-second guillotine. That's got itself a record, at least like the top 3 quickest submissions.
Actually, I got to check something. I want to see how Oleg's fucking boxing match against Jeff Monson went. I haven't actually checked.
I think apparently it was a draw. It was a no contest. I seen a picture and it was both their hands getting raised. So one of them they just didn't lose either of them. So I think it was a draw.
Ah, well, that's fucking shit. I swear every fight like that in Russia, every weird freak show ends in a draw. Unless it's that. Who's that? Dankov. Who's the neo-Nazi guy? Vladimir Datkov or something.
Mike Jackson of something like that.
No, did you ever see that post where it was like a Russian promotion books bout between convicted rapist and neo-Nazi?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay. Let me find it and I'll send it to you. It's my favorite. It's my favorite MMA headline ever.
The only Russian event that didn't end like that was when fucking poor Olenek went over there and fought Ollie Thompson, got one punch killed, man. It was terrible.
Oh, I seen that. That was horrible.
So sad, man.
Oh, poor Olenek.
One note I had as well, the guy that Oleg was fighting, Anthony Macias, he just had the word Mad Dog written on his arse. I thought that was funny. Just Mad Dog in the back of his shorts. That was the gear back then. You just got to wear absolutely anything. You had your own wee logo.
Oh, like I say, there's just a crazy charmer behind them events. Oh yeah, check your messages. I sent you the.
I think if I check it now, it might come off the stream. I'll check it after the stream though. I don't want to risk fucking ending the thing if I come off it.
Oh, okay, yeah, all good.
And then after that was Tank Abbott, and so I think this is when, because they had to get in, the Macias guy was an alternate, so whatever happened to Patrick Smith, I don't know, but he had to pull out for something then, because Macias was an alternate guy, and they got him to fight Oleg Taktarov, so I don't know why Patrick Smith didn't make it. Maybe he was just scared, not surprised, to fight Oleg, but yeah, well, I didn't see what happened on the broadcast for what happened there.
Yeah, there was a injury. There was always every single event. It's like, I think Patrick Smith. I think he was out with stomach cramps, if I'm remembering correctly.
Fair enough. I was looking through the broadcast trying to find if there was a point where I could find that I didn't. So if there's anyone that can find out what happened to Patrick Smith on UFC 6, I'd like to know.
Every event I watched, it was like Ken Shamrock's out with broken hand because he didn't wear gloves for his fight. It's like, fucking hell, man.
And when Gerard Gordeau went on in UFC 1 with fucking Talatouli's teeth in his foot, do you know what I mean? Like, can carry on.
Yeah, literally. I honestly, I just love watching these old events. But yeah, go on, sorry.
It was Tank Abbott back up next versus Paul Virillis. It was a 1 minute 52-second TKO, punches, and my note literally was because it was so sort of just Abbott smash. He just beat him up. That was the only thing that happened.
Oh, man, fucking, if I was alive during that era, I would have been the biggest Tank Abbott fanboy. Like, there's so much charm about just a fat guy with a goatee, like, beating the fuck out of everyone. Like, I don't know if it's the same in Scotland, but there's so many, just when you go to the pub, there's always a big, tough fucking guy with a goatee, chubby guy, like in every Australian pub. So he's literally he's just built like the average guy you'd find brawling in a pub.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the goatee part. That's not really the move. Scotland's typically like the receding hairline is like the key to finding out who's who. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to go out more and see what I can find. But yeah, I don't know about the goatee part. That's not a distinct feature of the Scottish people right now.
I always wish we got Tank Abbott versus Hoist Gracie at one of these events, like just to see Tank Abbott.
That would have been. I think that would have been the first chance, like a fucking UFC history of Tank Abbott just clipping him and putting him out cold. To be honest, I think that would have been the best chance right early.
Like, just imagine Tank Abbott fucking running at Hoist and just bombing him instantly. Like, oh my god, that would have been fucking star-making performance.
And that would have been like the first proper big upset for like that in UFC history, I think. But speaking of the two boys, it was I thought this would be the main event because it was promoted as the main event, but it was the super fight title. Only two of our champions. It was these two. It was Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn. They retired the belt. Shame. Really could have been something there. I imagine we still have the super fight title now. There's some of the state fights we'll be getting. So that's quite a good fight. I really liked Ken Shamrock's purple shorts with the American flag in it. Very basic, old school wrestling stuff there. It was actually quite a good fight. It was quite a good catch wrestling stuff in this. And then Severn almost got guillotined early. Still got caught early by a guillotine by Shamrock. It was actually quite a good fight though. Good catch wrestling stuff between two guys. And then this is, I think, because Shamrock was the first champion, and Severn ended up winning it back. And these were the only two guys that ever won the belt.
I know it's unfortunate they retired the super fight belt, but yeah, I thought it was a good fight. I was happy to see Ken Shamrock get the W, but obviously Severn gets his revenge.
There was a point where Ken Shamrock kneed Dan Severn, and Severn just walked towards him and just mogged him basically after he got kneed in the face. I thought it was quite cool.
Dan Severn is like just got the fucking craziest career. He's like 99 and like 12 or some crazy fucking thing like that. He fought till he was like 50 or something.
Yeah, he's still got, man. Ken Shamrock's still fighting as well. And then Dan Severn used to like wrestling as well, like the late 90s. But Ken Shamrock's still doing like pro wrestling stuff.
Yeah, I remember Ken Shamrock was talking about fighting again, but now he's thankfully fully retired, which is good. That Kimbo Slice fight was really weird in Bellator, if you've seen that one.
Behind Ken Shamrock, yeah.
Yeah, it was. They were like talking to each other, so a lot of people were thinking it was fixed, but
I think I just senile old men. It may be the issue though.
Yeah, but I think it was Dan Severn and Tank Abbott was scheduled to fight in like 2016 or something crazy like that, but it didn't go ahead.
thankfully for that. 2016 as well. Severn weren't even young during this fight. Do you know what I mean? Like in
Yeah,
the 90s.
I seen when he was booked against Mark Coleman. There was like a news report talking about how Dan Seven's like, yeah, this is the last one for me. I'm getting too old for this. He went on to fight for another fucking 14 years after that.
So sometimes the fight game just drags you back in. Do you know what I mean?
But
So
he had, like, when I say he fought for another 14 years, he had about 50 or 60 other bouts.
yeah, it was a really fucking strange. A lot of them guys did get a lot of them fights in there because you just couldn't. You couldn't wait for the big UFC events because there's like 3 UFC events a year. Do you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
had to organise these little fucking makeshift bouts. But then there was a main event between. This is the rightful main event of this card for what we were talking about. It's Oleg Taktar versus Tank Abbott. That is super fight written all over it. That should be the super fight title. Taktar versus Abbott.
I was like, Tank Abbott actually did really well in that fight. Like,
My first note was that it took fucking John McCarthy 15 minutes to stand him up. Like the new rule was not enforced back then. It took him 15 minutes to stand him up.
fucking, oh my god! I wish Tank Abbott never winning a UFC tournament is heartbreaking in my opinion. I wish that you could consider him a UFC champion.
But what happened was after he stood them up, Tank Abbott just stormed across the cage and Oleg got wobbled, pulled a guillotine, took his back, subbed him, and then my last note was just Oleg equals GOAT. Because he's the GOAT, man. just get sloppy fight just on the ground, nothing happening, gets up, gets wobbled, pulls the guillotine, gets a real naked choke. That is GOAT shit right there.
Have you ever watched the fight with Tank Abbott and Carl Walsham?
Probably. I a lot of the early UFC fights blend in each other because a lot of the guys weren't distinct in what they would wear. They were all wearing like black and blue, like dark colours and that.
So in this fight, Cal and fucking Tank Abbott immediately runs over and grabs Cal and tries to fucking throw him over the octagon.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know the fight you're talking about now.
Like, what the fuck was his game plan? What did he think would happen? Did he think this was the fucking Royal Rumble or something? Did he think if he threw him out, it was an instant KO?
Yeah, I know, because that was something like that. They did a thing with Forrest Griffin like a couple years ago. Like they did 20 of the freakiest fights, and they put one fight pass, and that was one of them. Yeah, it was like a fucking possession trying to get Walsham out of the cage. Oh, but my last note overall was on that event. The best thing ever. The credits for the event played as the event was recapped. It's like highlights from the event as like some like fucking music plays, and then the credits rolled on the screen. It was the most 90s thing ever, man. It was so funny.
It like I've said it about 4 times. The charm of these events is just like, I can see why the UFC got so big, just because these events were so charming. Like the fucking, I don't know if it was this card, but in a few cards after this, when they introduced like judges and all that shit, with judging, they would have the fucking referees put up a fucking card and it would have the name of the person they fought won.
Like swimming, like after the dive.
Like fucking Dancing with the Stars or some shit. Like fuck, that's how they did judging. Like, oh my god. It was the fucking weirdest thing to see. I wish that they would do that today. Imagine seeing fucking Sal D'Amato or that whoever that fucking judge was who gave the fight to Cheeto Vera against Corey Sandhagen. Just to see him get a face to it as he did it.
If they panned, like before the title fights, they go, and the referee in charge is Herbreen. They cut to Herbreen. If they pan to all the judges as well, and they just got the fucking booze for like Chris Lee and stuff like that, just showered in booze. Just like a cover on their face at the re-judging panel.
But yeah, the sport's definitely come a long way in skill, though. We definitely agree with that.
And you watch like those, it was like Keith Hackney versus Emmanuel Yarbrough. You watch that, it's like this little fucking white guy just versus a Goliath, just black guy, and it's just them swinging bombs back and forth. And you just watch it thinking, this somewhere along the way, this became Volkanovski versus Holloway. Do you know what I mean? Like, how did this happen? How did we get to this point? Not even that long ago, the 90s, like in like boxing, it was been around since like 1899, and there's like notable guys from that era you can go back and still watch fights from somehow. Like, it ain't been around for that long, but there's been such a massive change. It's quite impressive.
It's even crazy to just like watch fucking Hoist Gracie's like version of jiu-jitsu, and then you go and see like fucking Charles the Bronx like fucking knocking people down and stuff. It's like, or even just seeing like Diego fucking Lopez's fucking submission game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's fair play, like Dana White and that for pulling through and investing in this thing, because if you looked at the time, you would think this is not going anywhere. Like, did we have that one friend who tell you about it and go, "Did we watch the UFC on TV?" And you'd watch it and go, "This is lasting a couple months, and this is getting pulled. This is not going to last. This is an experiment, a freak show, human cockfighting, as they always called it, and then this is not going to last." But somehow it can blew up, and when like you had like Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell were the first like big guys to draw into the mainstream stuff, and then here we are
Oh,
now.
did if the fucking UFC and MMA didn't exist, I don't know what the fuck I'd be doing with my life.
Yeah. Well, the thing you wouldn't obviously know, because if it didn't exist, you would never know what you're missing. You know what I mean? But it could be like there's like an alternate timeline of like the MMA guru was like the fucking water polo guru. Do you know what I mean? He's raging at the pics and stuff.
He's fucking. Well, there'd be like a weird era where instead of like MMA becoming the new combat sport, it would be like fucking. I don't know. It'd be some real random. It'd be like fucking boxing or some shit. It'd be like boxing with headbutts or something. Or left way. He'd be the left way fucking guru.
There's like that thing in India where they go in like the middle of the field. They've got like it's the first person that gets slapped. They just run about a field until one of them gets slapped. That'd be the next one. Indian dirt slap fighting, probably.
Or he'd be the. Have you seen that Italian sport that's like a mix of rugby and MMA? And whoever's got the ball, you're allowed to go and beat the fucking shit out of them with your hands.
Last thing they do in Dagestan as well, they do like wrestling and basketball. So it'd probably be something along them lines as well. Some hybrid sport I could see happening.
I was gonna say also mentioning the guru. If MMA Guru was alive in the like fucking 90s as an adult, he would generally probably have success in the UFC. Like I could imagine him fucking fighting fucking Tank Abbott or something like that. Especially with his Taekwondo background, he'd probably come out brawling like Kara Warship.
He'd come out with the gi as well. He'd come out with his gi, definitely.
I always hated when they come out with their gis. I thought it was so stupid to come out wearing your gi. It would make you fucking. You'd be so fucking hot out there.
It's like, well, I mean, Hoyce Gracie, they wear that fucking gi for about fucking an hour and a half when he fought fucking Sakuraba. Like, it was the skin rash he would have got after that fight was been terrible. Going up against him.
And it's like every Gary Goodrich fight. Why was he wearing a gi? He's not even like a fucking jiu-jitsu practitioner. That gi would have been fucking slowing him down, if anything.
Like the modern mind games of MMA is like when Sean O'Malley dyed his hair the same colours as the Ecuador flag when he fought Marlon Vera. The equivalent of that would have been like Tank Abbott coming out of gi against Hoyce Gracie.
Oh my god! I can't even. I guarantee you, fucking Tank Abbott's never worn a gi in his life.
Nah,
like I feel like I could look that up, and I could say that quite confidently. There's no photos of Tank Abbott in a gi. I can't imagine him fucking practicing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, if they were building him for the Hoyce Gracie fight back in the day, they definitely just got him in a jiu-jitsu match, and he would have just worn his fucking little black biker shorts for the UFC.
Like one of
slide as well.
I think the only submission he's got is him fucking pressing his forearm against somebody's head against the fence.
Standing forearm choke, yeah, that's a classic.
The one thing I do love about the old events is that it was just completely legal to fucking grab onto the fence as well.
Yeah, there was no rule against that, and there was no. You could fucking kick each other in the dick as well. There's a lot of things you could get away with. But yeah, fines grabs were not penalised whatsoever. There was a lot of them in this event as well. Probably should have noted them down.
Oh yeah, just watching the event, I'm like outraged, thinking, take a fucking point, ref. It's like there's not even judging. You can't even take a fucking point. It's like it was crazy. It was like the Wild West though, but I love it. It's such a great era of MMA.
Definitely. So I mean, we could probably do that again for another event. We could probably like pick like a different year. We could just bounce. If you like the next event, we could do something like 2017 or something.
Definitely. It's good fun to go back and watch old events. I always love going back and watching old events.
It's always the little things you pick up on, and just like I love when they show like the rankings of the time, and it's like these, and it's like Hernandez versus fucking Ronaldo, and they're both ranked at lightweight. Do you know what I mean? It's like seeing the difference in the divisions as ages. It's so good.
Oh yeah, it's crazy just to go back. It's like middleweight, fucking in 2019 or 2020. I think fucking Jacare was in the top 5, and
this is literally Jacare, Ian Heinisch, Omar Akhmedov, and Antonio Carlos Jr. in the top 15.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And Misha Sarkinov's fucking ranked number 5 for light heavyweight.
Yeah, Jesus, such a weird fucking era.
That's what and when I always bring up the card for the next event, like next week coming up, it's this card. You see, what the fuck were we watching? What were these cards, man?
Yeah, I know it's so crazy to see where all these fucking fighters are now. Like I don't know, even just 3 years ago,
Mm.
like the Cowboy, oh, actually, no, 4 years ago, the Cowboy versus Iaquinta card. Like, it's crazy that those two were main eventing that, and now they're both retired. Like,
Yeah, and then the co-main event was the greatest fight of all time.
oh my god,
No,
Elias
not,
Burrow
notably
versus
the greatest fight to ever take place in the history of the sport, I think. If you don't believe me, go back and rewatch it.
Nah, I think I'm good. Derek Brunson has had a very interesting career.
That is I've rewatched that fight and I've watched it like ironically cheering for every fight that lands. It was it's so funny, man. It's nothing happens in that fight. Like Theodore kicks Derek Brunson's hand like 50 times.
There's
The
something
significant
really
strikes to the hand.
charming, something really charming about watching shit fights back. I shit
Yeah.
you not, this is a real fact. Back in 2019 to 2020, I probably rewatched the Ben Askren Damian Maia fight about 35 times.
That was at least more action than Theodore Brunson was.
Oh no,
Like,
it was horrible, like on a technical scale. That it
yeah.
was so fun to watch. Just watching fucking Ben Askren fucking throw hands is always so funny.
DC was taking a piss at that fight. I think it was during Petrosky Mearshot. DC on commentary was openly making fun of the striking and
Oh
saying it was
yeah,
like
he
Askren
did
Maya.
actually. He did
Yeah.
actually. That was a very interesting fight. I seen a lot of people saying the Petrosky fucking hype train died in that fight.
I don't feel like there was very much a Petrosky hype in the first place. To be honest with you, I didn't really ever buy into the fact that he was like crazy. Like he's like a strong guy wrestler, but when you watch his fights, like I didn't see like oh, this guy's a future champion. Like I didn't watch him can take Michael Gunmore to the third round and go, dude, this guy's the future. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but there was some hype behind him, but I was never on that. I think he's been very lucky with the matchmaking he's been given in the UFC. You know,
We've went over this. Some of the middleweights just
yeah.
get the easiest streaks, man. Like getting Gilmore, who he's on. Max Mov at the time before, that's not like an easy fight when he was undefeated then.
Wellington Turman's also a good win to have, but
Yeah, especially at that time. Turman was I think just beat Sukhanov at that point as well, so it wasn't terrible. But then Mearshot, I think we're slowly finding out that in the last couple of years, they're giving Mearshot to the guys who they want to get a good win before they get to the rankings. I think we're seeing who the UFC likes whether they give to Mearshot, I think. And if they don't like getting fucking Rizaboyev or something.
fucking Mearshot was fucking giving him the hands in that third round though. Like,
Yeah, dude, Mearshot is unbelievably slow. I cannot believe that he was getting clipped by him. It's crazy that hand speed.
Mearshot was actually so close to getting a TKO in that round. Like he was fucking knocking back fucking Petrosky's head, and he was just putting the fucking mustard on him. What was I gonna say? Did you see that MMA Guru wants to see Andre Petrosky versus Chris Weidman next?
Yeah, and I do get it because I don't think Petrosky's got the same. Petrosky will get taken down if Weidman does go for it the way he was going against Tavares. He didn't have that same takedown defense. And I don't know, Petrosky doesn't have a lot of killer instinct, I don't think, on the feet to beat you up and walk you down. I think it's more if he lands a one punch out of nowhere, that could be it. Kind of just like a bit of a sloppy technique could get you. But if you're going to give Weidman someone, I would like to be someone like a bit older. Like there's probably a better matchup at middleweight than Petrosky for Weidman. I'm just trying to think even.
Honestly, GM3 versus Chris Weidman.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, there's a couple like. They released a lot of the middleweights that were kind of useful for that, to be honest, recently. Like, they'd let Jocko in that win, that he was kind of like a reliable guy, you could have given him something. I mean, you could do like fucking Weidman versus like Anders or something like that, who's getting up there.
Like, honestly, the Chris Weidman, like, obviously, okay, I'm not going to say he looked good against Brad Tavares, but Brad Tavares is like a fucking nightmare matchup for him. That was like horrible matchmaking.
The worst matchup they could get. Like the only thing Tavares was known for in this point of his career is having consistently excellent takedown defense. And that's not just one fight; it's every fight of his career recently. It's just there's a level of every good aspect of MMA. There's great jiu-jitsu guys. He is very close to being the best ever in terms of takedown defense. So it's so consistent, and it's not just that the same takedown. You can go for any type of takedown, blast double leg, single leg against the cage. He's always got the balance for it and the flexibility to get out of it. So. I don't know why they thought that was, unless they just never really watched Tavares, and then the Weidman's team just seen him as like, he's a guy who lost to Whittaker a long time ago, let's get him. He's an older guy, and I never really knew what he was like as a fighter. Maybe that's what it was, but.
Or maybe they wanted to get Brad Tavares a win before they go and feed him to somebody else.
It's true. Yeah, true. Although they rebooked the fight with him in RoboCop, which may happen.
Yeah. That's
Brazil.
I put a tweet up about that. I really want to see that fight.
Yeah.
RoboCop, I love RoboCop, man. His style is so fun.
Obama, the boy.
Honestly, he I get he's got a shaky chin, but he has so much potential. It's just his chin fucking holds him back. He honestly, he's got the skill set to be a championship level fighter, but his chin is so hit and miss.
Yeah, sometimes I get into the brawl a bit too much. If he had a better chin, I think the chin is holding him back from even getting top 10. Because there's a couple, I think Chris Curtis would KO him and stuff. But if he didn't have that dodgy chin, he's got power. He's kind of durable in his game. He's got decent. He's not got bad strength technique for a middleweight. He's got a good grounding game. So yeah, but I think the chin is holding him back, which is unfortunate because there's nothing you can do about that. You can't change that, to be honest.
But it's weird though, because his chin one fight he
Yeah,
gets
I know.
by Jordan Williams, and he gets fucking flying knee flushed by fucking Chidi Nchikwi and doesn't even get fucking rocked. So I don't know. I think it's just maybe he's more depleted than other days or something. Maybe his weight cuts are harder sometimes or something.
And Jung Young Park's backing him up against the cage, piecing him up and just eats it and then comes forward and chins Park out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just fucking. I want him to have a chin. I want to see fucking Gregory Rodriguez and fucking Paulo Costa brawling in the middle one day.
Yeah, maybe we can get some surgery or something, get a metal plate put into his chin or something. Could help him out.
Well, hey, that's what they did with RDA after he broke his jaw against Clay Guida. He never got fucking. He only got TKO'd by
Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, no, I think. So he got KO'd by Jeremy Stevens, and then he broke his jaw against Clay Guida, and his chin was just fucking granite ever since then. He got TKO'd against Eddie Alvarez, obviously,
and Fiziev, which is a long.
But that was a long period of time where he just didn't ever get rocked or dropped in fights.
Yeah, and all a long time as apart as well. Same thing with Benson Henderson. He has been knocked out before, but it doesn't happen a lot. It happens very infrequently in his career. He's one of them guys.
But yeah, going back on, I've seen a lot of people saying that they should do Gregory Rodriguez versus Bo Nickel, but I think that's a terrible idea.
I don't know. Bo Nickel probably trends, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, probably. I could see that happening, but I don't know. I want to see Bo Nickel just gradually get built up. He hasn't been training MMA long, and I think he has a really high ceiling, but I don't want to see him fucking get rushed in there and he just gets fucking brutally KO'd.
Well, now is the time. Now that the fight's officially cancelled, now is the time to do Kizrev versus Bo Nickel, putting against a Dagestani, against a wrestler. I think that might be a really good test. Rather than doing him as Duraev, Duraev's just lost, so there's no a lot of hype in that.
Jesus Christ, fucking Kizraev's fucking 5'9" lightweight at middleweight.
When I seen they did a fight scheduled a while ago, I think Vittori versus Holland. There was a fight with Kizrev and Kyle Dawkins, and the fight graphic. Yeah. I thought it was edited. Kizrev literally looks like a fucking toddler with facial hair on that picture. I thought it was an edited picture of a fake fighter. I was like, "Who's this guy?" I was oh, it's Kizrev. That's what he looks like, and he literally looks like a fucking toddler, a newborn baby with hair. It's so weird. He's such a weird looking guy.
I don't even know if Kizraev's good. Hey, fucking, he had a really competitive fight with Dennis Tuhulin, and now
on short notice.
Yeah, and we've seen Dennis just get fucking mauled by the fucking Iron Turtle and fucking Gregory Rodriguez. But that also goes to fucking Ikram Aliskerov too, because he went to the third round with fucking Dennis. So it's these guys might really be a lot shitter than we think they are.
It's middleweight, so there's always an expectation of what a middleweight is supposed to be like. The division's quite inconsistent, where Strickland is the guy that comes through. Vittori's been in the top 4 for ages. But the guys who seem actually talented in a way never seem to make it, which is bizarre. So we'll see what happens to Bo Nickel, I guess, in that sense.
Edmund Shabazian without inverted ribs would have been champion by now.
Yeah, that Tavares performance ages better every time you watch it. I have no idea how he did that to Tavares, honestly. It's crazy.
I know, does that to Tavares, and that was his last. Oh no, I was going to say that was his last win, but no, he beat Dolce.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boy. I remember him doing that to Brad Tavares, and then watching fucking Drickus go to fucking war and get fucked up in the first round, and I'm like, damn, Edmund's actually not bad, and Drickus, Drickus isn't as good as I thought he was. Then Drickus goes on to fucking KO Robert Whittaker and is now a fight away from being the UFC champion. So what the fuck do I know?
Adesanya went to fucking not competitive, but not a complete blowout 5 decision against Tavares where he struggled in moments, and after that, Shabazian just puts him out somehow.
Yeah, Tavares is just a weirdly inconsistent fighter. Gets
Oh,
fucking chinned by Silva, and then yeah.
we do have, if we're talking about middleweights, we do have some news. We've got the boys back, CLD's back, November
Oh yeah,
18th.
of course.
Cesar Almeida, I'm ready. I seen it on my phone. I was on Guru stream and someone said CLD fight on Twitter, and I was like, oh fuck, it's got to be Bo Nickel. Which honestly, weirdly enough, I think he's actually better against wrestlers, and I was wanting to see him against wrestler. I think he does better because I think he can draw wrestlers into shit. So I was waiting to see, maybe it'll be Bo Nickel or Derive or something. I check it, Cesar Almeida, and I went, let's fucking go. Started beating my chest in my room in the middle of the night, just fucking going, pacing back and forth, like fucking let's go CLD. But yeah, I actually think I'm more confident in beating Almeida than I was him beating Petrosian, to be honest.
See, I agree. I got Leroy Duncan winning this fight, but every single comment on the Big Marcel post on Instagram was rip CLD, rip CLD. Oh shit, they've given up on the CLD. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe he's fucking 35 years old. Look, he's 3-0, 4-0 in MMA. CLD's got all the experience. He could really just grapple heavy here, I think.
Yeah, I think people don't understand that CLD as an amateur had the same amount of submissions as he did knockouts. He's got like an omoplata and key lock as an amateur. He's got a lot of wins by submission. And I'm just thinking, like, Will Curry isn't the fucking greatest prospect in the world, but he's 24 out of the UK and he's doing really well in cage wars right now. CLD out-grappled him in both their fights as the fight went on and was like, getting like fucking body lock takedowns on him and almost getting fucking Kimuras on him. And apart from the first round where he just got held down, he nullified Jack Milan's grappling, who's a fucking European Jiu-Jitsu champion. And I don't know. I think on the feet, you've got to be a bit bouncy to him with CLD. Almeida's very basic kickboxer. Where Petrosian kind of goes on the outside, he's kind of picking his shots, constantly moving. Almeida plants his feet and like just body jabs. Waits for you, jab, calf kick, plants his feet. I think CLD can take advantage of that and just fucking blast double leg him. I've got him by first round sub like a real naked or something, but we'll see what happens. I've said this. Oh, you go on, Quill.
Oh no, you go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, if CLD knocks out Almeida, I am never shutting up about how CLD knocked out the guy who beat Payne in kickboxing. I will never shut up about that. That is my next time on Twitter. I'm going to post it. Like, how fucking good is CLD actually?
Yeah, I was gonna say I hate the matchup though because I wanted to see Almeida fight. Like I don't know, he's. I wanted to see him go on a bit of a run, but I think CLD beats him.
He could have waited for Bulgari on the Contender Series to see if he wanted. They could have signed him. They could have done Almeida versus Bulgari. Like a pure kickboxing fight now, me.
Okay. Also, speaking of people from Dana White Contender Series, I watched a video with Tom Nolan. Do you know who Tom Nolan wants for his debut?
Let me guess. But the way you asked me that makes me think it's got to be someone fucking stupid. So I'm going to say Pete Rodriguez for the meme of it.
He wants Chase Hooper.
I mean, Chase Hooper's booked. To be fair, he could have picked someone.
He knows his book now, but he said originally he wanted Chase Hooper for his debut and opponent.
I mean, I wouldn't. I'd probably have called it Chase Hooper as well, man. If I'm a lightweight, I'm looking at Chase Hooper and thinking if Steve Garcia can do it, I can probably do it. You know what I mean? I kind of get the logic behind it because he's a notable name as well. People watch Chase Hooper fight because he's known in MMA. So.
Oh, I'm just thinking about how fucking brutal Tom Nolan would do poor little Chase Hooper, man. Like, I know Chase Hooper looked really improved his last fight, but I think Tom Nolan's just on a fucking different level.
Yeah, I don't know. Chase Hooper either looks like he's just a scrapping people dog, or he looks just like he shouldn't even be in there with people. There's no in between with Chase Hooper. He's outclassed, or he gets finished, or he just beats you up. That's how it is.
Yeah, he's a weirdly inconsistent fighter. Did you ever watch the fucking Funky Family thing on fucking Fight Pass?
Yes, with having like the chicken, the managing the chickens and stuff, and like going to like the wrestling school and that. And yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, the little fucking sitcom thing they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that a couple months ago, and I was like, damn, I wish they kept doing this. And then it turned out fucking, was it Sarah McMahon or something? Was his fucking mum in the series? His real mum?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he went over there because he was trying to find, and they had to stay at the house. I watched that a while ago. It was really late at night. I was going through Fight Pass and I had a fucking playlist for it. And I was like, and the episode's like 4 minutes long. I was like, let me watch this. And I was like, the fuck am I watching, man?
Literally, I watched a bunch of weird shit on the Fight Pass the other night. I was watching a fucking Chuck Norris fucking cartoon show that they have on fucking Fight Pass.
Fight Pass, honestly, I have a lot of. I've got like Netflix, I've got Disney Plus, I've got Fight Pass, I've got all that shit. I think Fight Pass is like the subscription I use the most, at least. If you're a fight fan, you should have Fight Pass, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I watched a whole. I'm not even fucking kidding. This is a movie that's on Fight Pass. I watched a movie about Chuck Norris going and killing the devil in Jerusalem or some shit like that. He's a
They,
fucking Chicago detective as well. It was so weird.
they do have a whole section in Fight Pass for like films and stuff. There's a lot of like samurai movies and shit like that, in Fight Pass.
But like, what the fuck does like Chuck Norris fucking fighting the devil have to do with like martial arts? I get Chuck Norris is like a martial artist and everything. It's such a random movie to find on fucking Fight Pass. But I'm glad it's on there. I hope they add some more movies like that.
It's just the fucking rights to whatever they can get, I guess. It's like anything that's fight related, they'll put on there. Like, I'm surprised there's not like a fucking instructional from like fucking Jaden Smith when he was learning to be the Karate Kid or something. Do you know what I mean? Like the most random copyrighted thing they could get their hands on.
Oh yeah, like there's like 3 or 4 Chuck Norris movies, so they got some fucking partnership with Chuck Norris. I think there's a bunch of Bruce Lee movies as well on there.
Yeah, Fight Pass is a fucking gold mine of absolute shite to be honest.
Oh, I
It's
love
good,
it.
though.
I love it. I'm so glad that I got Fight Pass. I got it last year, and it was like the best decision I ever made. I can watch like fucking Eternal, Cage Warriors. I can just watch everything. I can watch old fights,
Like
new
fucking,
fights.
I was watching because I was in Manchester. It was the same night where the Holloway Allen card. That was the same night I was in Manchester for Cage War, so I didn't end up watching it until I got back to the hotel. And I tried to rewatch it. The fucking I can't watch the prelims on that card. Like I was trying to watch the prelims and the thing just doesn't work. And even you know how in Fight Pass they upload the individual fights and like the event, the full event back. I can watch like the individual fights on the prelims, apart from Lando Venata versus Daniel Zellhuber. There's no way to watch that fight on Fight Pass. I've checked, every fucking thing is blocked for that. So that fight's lost to fucking history, apparently. Zellhuber versus Venata.
What the fuck? That's a
I cannot watch it. Not the individual fight, not the full prelim event. No, I tried to watch it in fucking French and German, couldn't even fucking work. So Fight Pass, if you're watching this, fucking let me watch Venata versus Zellhuber.
I remember there was a period where you couldn't watch fucking Jack Della Maddalena versus Ramazan Ameev. You had to watch the full event. It was so weird.
That's my biggest complaint with Fight Pass. That happens all the fucking time in Fight Pass.
Like literally, especially the UFC 290 card. You normally it's a month. You have to wait before you can go back and watch a card for free.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally like 34 days. It was another 4 days before I could actually watch the full card, which was annoying.
Yeah, it is good, but it's fucking build sometimes, man. Like some of the events just don't work. You need to know the meta of Fight Pass. Where if you can't watch it in the full time, you've got to find an individual fight and vice versa. It's annoying trying to navigate that shit, especially some of the non-UFC events can be an issue. But yeah, Fight Pass. I think boxing would be a lot more successful if there was a boxing like app where you could rewatch all the old boxing fights. And people are going to bring up there's not one like Fight Pass. If there was a boxing fucking app and you could watch every mainstream boxing fight ever happened and have a playlist and shit like that and tell you all the events coming up, that'd be so helpful for people getting into boxing, I think.
Oh, definitely. But because there's all the different fucking WBC, none of them will agree to one platform. So, they kill themselves pretty much.
Yeah, you can't. It's tough to follow boxing, man, if you're not really into it. And you've got a big community of boxing people and shit around you. And you need to make your own schedule if you're a boxing fan. I think there's no way of keeping track of it like that.
Oh, did you see Canelo's making his MMA debut tomorrow on Dana White Contender Series?
Yeah, and he's also fighting Kevin Holland on the September 16 card.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, there's this Israeli guy, and I was watching his interview that he did, and he doesn't look like Canelo and anything else, but in his recent interview, he actually looked like fucking Canelo. I was like, what the fuck?
That's the Eli Aronov guy that's fighting in the main event, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. This is one of my big complaints about some of the guys they're signing to Dana White Contender Series. If you look at, I think his name's Zachary Reese.
Yeah.
His record is fucking awful. He beat a 6-10 guy to get on Dana White Contender Series. His only win was Aaron Phillips.
That's yeah. That's why
win. His only guy with a positive record is some guy who trains in his fucking garage on his own and fights in Alaska FC. What the fuck?
The GOAT, man. The self-taught GOAT, yeah. But that's why I picked Aronov to beat him. Everyone was picking Reese from that scene. That's why I picked Aronov. Yeah, Aaron Phillips, man, the fucking GOAT.
Zachary Reese does have a loss to Kevin Holland on the amateur scenes as well, from 2012, which is like fucking crazy that Kevin Holland's been fighting for that long.
That is the year though we see a lot of these a lot of, like the Brendan Allen and stuff. It's like I always think of it because of the Olympics. I know it's got no correlation, but I always think 2012 was when a lot of the current guys who are like late 20s, early 30s started fighting around that kind of time. 2012, 2013. That seems to be the new breakout point.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's crazy to think about. I was 11 years old in that fucking year. I was like in primary school.
Yeah, I don't even know fucking what I'm. But yeah.
Just weird to think that I was just running around the fucking playground and shit at school, and these guys were literally out fucking cage fighting at like fucking 19 or something.
Yeah. There was actually a fucking, and it was a UFC event the day I was born, actually. It was a Tito Ortiz fight, I think.
It was probably him fucking Slam Co and fucking Evan Tanner.
The Evan Tanner, I think, won the UFC belt. Not on the day I was not. Oh, it might have been the same card, actually, so I don't think it was that. I think it was the same card. I think Tito Ortiz was on it, and Evan Tanner was also on it, and Evan Tanner won the belt on when the day I was born.
Maybe it was Tito Ortiz versus Patrick Cote.
That sounds more likely, yeah.
That's crazy that Patrick Cote was ever a light heavyweight, because he ended his career fucking at welterweight.
Yeah, he was actually kind of decent as well. One of the only Canadian guys at that point.
He dropped Tito Ortiz in that fight as well.
And Tito Ortiz, I know people take the piss out of him because, I mean, rightfully fucking so. He's a fucking absolute mental fucking. I can't say that word. He's a mental special case. Anyway.
Yeah.
He's Tito Ortiz. People know Tito Ortiz, but he was actually for the time he was around there, he was actually kind of fucking good. I'm going to lie. Like his wrestling, he was pretty fucking solid, technique wise, for when he was about.
Yeah, because I never actually watched the Frank Shamrock fight, and I've seen, I was like, damn, Frank Shamrock, beast. I thought that he just ran through Tito Ortiz, but I rewatched that fight. Tito Ortiz won every second of that fight until he gassed out and got finished. Like, he was, I don't know, Tito Ortiz was really good, but obviously, like you say, he was special.
He wants to outlive his children.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, he's got a special kind of CTE.
I know everyone's seen it. The funniest one is that fucking one that the guy, and he's talking about the cheese and wine. He's just gonna grab that violin, and it's already sounding like it's fucking the cheese with the wine, and I'm just playing that violin. Utter shit he speaks, man. It's so fucking funny.
One of my favorite ones is when he's like, oh, what does he say? He's like, I'm not, I've never wanted to let anyone down in my life, and I'm gonna start now, or something. He says something like fucking something like that. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
And he's only, I think he's like, so 3 times a week I'm training, 2 times a week to be on the Monday. I'm training twice a week to train on the 4 times a week. So that's what I'm doing. He's just fucking his own fucking language when he's on.
I love the Tito Ortiz wordsmith fucking videos.
Yeah, that's the fucking classic one. And the him and Chael Sonnen was a rivalry. Outside the cage wise, just that's a 10-8. That's a mismatch. It was never going to go well for Tito, man.
I was literally just about to mention that press conference. The way fucking Chael perfectly got him to mention him mentioning every opportunity he's got with his mouth was just perfect fucking reverse psychology from Chael Sonnen.
And he fucking dropped. He drops line and he goes, "They don't call you the bad guy for nothing." You're a fucking punk, dude.
You're a fucking punk, dude. More like a bad girl. It's like
bad. I'm the uncle. Yeah. You don't call the bad guy for nothing. Bad girl, more like look around, try to see if anyone's approving of it.
It's like if you see fucking Tito Ortiz scrunching up that fucking juice box. So this is gonna be Chael Sonnen on Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's just squeezing a fucking juice box.
It says it's a fucking and then juice box stands for Chael Sonnen. He's a juice head, juicy juice boy, and he's gonna get it's like fucking the acronym for juice box. It just doesn't line up. He's a juice head, a juicy juice boy. And he's gonna get
The thing is, Tito Ortiz used to be somewhat witty before. He fucking owned Ken Shamrock at their fucking press conference, but
yeah, when fucking Shamrock books the fucking shit up.
He's like,
I'm gonna beat you in a living death.
Living death. He's like, ah! He just starts laughing hysterically. He's like, fucking hell.
I'm going to beat you in a living death. What was he on about? No, but Tito's comeback for the Chael Sonnen thing was like, we're never in an actual marriage. That's fucking.
He's like, "Just to correct you, there was never no marriage."
Dead silence. You're a fucking punk, dude.
I always fucking love watching that. The way he says it, like he thought that was such a killer line. You're fucking punk, dude.
Chael says that he takes an orange and threw it at Tito's head and it started orbiting his head like a planet. That was so funny.
Oh, have you seen that video where Chael says he runs into fucking Tito Ortiz in Portland, and Tito comes up, he's like, "Fucking pussy," and
Yeah, I know what it's all about.
he's like, "What are you doing in Portland, Tito?" And Tito just stares at him blankly, doesn't say anything, and walks off. Like,
Yeah, I know what it's all about.
I don't know how true it is because it's Chael Sonnen, but that sounds like a fucking true story.
Yeah. Anyway, right. We've got to the point where we're reminiscing about Tito Ortiz's career highlights. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? I've got to wrap it up.
No, oh, there was something I was going to mention. Let me go check. Big Marcel. I think there was a fight I was going to mention.
It was Cap versus Felipe Dos Santos.
Oh, yeah, that was... I'm glad they added that fight.
Yeah, I'd rather have Cap than nothing.
I was going to mention Armin Petrosian versus Rafael...
Rodolfo Vieira.
Yeah, Vieira.
Mm-hmm.
How you got that fight going?
Listen, Vieira's alright, but he's fucking shit in the feet. He got dropped in the finish by Brundage, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. And he almost got fucking front kick killed by fucking Big Safarov. So I just don't see him doing it. And Petrosian's not got the greatest technical defense ever, but he was able to pretty much nullify Kyle Bahalio's ground game. And Bahalio's a lot fucking stronger and a lot younger than Vieira's. And he's never even been subbed before, so I might honestly see Petrosian just fucking him up in the feet and like getting off like a knee or something. I don't know. Vieira's got to shoot straight away because he's getting fucked up in the feet if he stays with him.
Petrosian wins this. You got to give him a ranked fighter, surely.
Yeah, at this point, like, he's only lost in the UFC's Kyle Bahalio, which honestly, in my opinion, modern scoring, which fucking values damage a lot more. There's an argument, in my opinion, that Petrosian beat Kyle Bahalio because Bahalio didn't do anything that fight damage-wise. He gets his back and that's it, but Petrosian kicks his fucking legs out. But other than that, he beat Gregory Rodriguez. He just beat CLD, beat AJ Dobson. Like, these are all guys who are winning at middleweight. These guys aren't going losing streaks or anything. So yeah, if he beats Vieira, I think true, ranked opponent. If they're fucking looking at giving other guys, Alaskov's getting a ranked opponent. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think go.
The way I see Armin Petrosian, I don't know. This isn't just because they're both Armenian, but I see him as like a better Edmund Shabazian.
Yeah, he's a lot fucking less likely to fucking gas out than Petrosian is, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always liked Armin Petrosian ever since the Dana White Contender Series. Obviously, I was rooting for CLD against him, but
I obviously was looking for CLD against him, but like I've got respect for Petrosian for handling the fight well. Like, it was cool before the fight, cool after the fight, raised his hand after. Like, he's a fucking cool guy, man. Nothing against him.
Yeah, no, he's a sick guy. Also, Renat Fikratinov versus Alessio Dos Santos.
Yeah, that was when you rewatch any of those. I've got no battle list. I'll wrap this up quickly. When you watch any of those 2019 UFC events when Zaleski was on that fucking win streak, like 7-fight win streak, it was crazy. But he's not really that same guy anymore.
Yeah, he had like his fight with Ubakar Nurmagomedov was like too competitive for me to think that he's gonna beat fucking Renat. I think Renat's gonna probably run through him, but maybe
see Renat dropping him as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I could see Renat doing some damage in the feet, but yeah, good fight. I'm glad they haven't rushed Renat into like a ranked fighter yet. I don't think he deserves a ranked fighter yet. So Alessio's a good fighter for him. Good fight for him to have.
Definitely. I went on a walk and I forgot to charge my phone, so I had like 60% rather than 100, so I kind of fucked up with that. But
oh fuck. So how much battery you got now?
Fuck knows, man. Probably about 5 something. It was a couple of minutes ago. It said I had 10%, so I don't think I'm going to go at any moment, but no all left.
Yeah, I'm sure we can fit in some more things quickly before it dies. Oh, Michelle Pereira finally at middleweight.
Yeah, but if it dies, it dies, and I'm gone. But I'll stay until then. Pay him middleweight against Barriot, which is weird because Barriot's a bit of he kind of uses his cardio as a weapon. So we'll see, because the issue is Pereira. It's a good thing and a bad thing because his cardio's probably got to be a lot better. But the fucking size difference at a welterweight is now all of a sudden nullified. Like, he's not going to be the big guy anymore. He'll still be a big guy because he's fucking huge, but like he was bigger than any welterweight by a long shot that he'd ever fight. But now that's been nullified a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And fucking, like you say, Barrio's fucking literally known. He's literally called the power
Power
bar.
bar. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like this is the UFC punishing Pereira a bit. They're thinking, this fucking prick missed weight against fucking Wonderboy. Now we got everyone giving us shit for not paying Wonderboy. So let's punish this fucker. Let's give him a guy with really good cardio. He can beat the fuck out of him. And then we're gonna go give fucking Wonderboy fucking Renat Fikretinov if he beats Alessio Dos Santos.
Yeah, the only way they could have made it worse if they gave him like Hernandez or something like that. Like the definition of weaponized cardio. They just,
Hey, I don't know did we talk about Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov last episode? I don't think we did.
No, I don't think so. No.
How you got that fight going? I think I got Hernandez, but
Hernandez is it's quite hittable in the feet, and Kopilov's been really good recently. But I don't know. I didn't like Kopilov's performance against Carl Roberson. I don't like the way he got taken down and melted in that fight. And Hernandez is a lot better than Roberson is at that. Hernandez has literally just found his niche of just being a fucking bully and just beating you up over time. So I don't think he'll finish him, but I think he might get like it would make a late rounds TKO at best, but I think he'll get a decision. Hernandez wears him down.
I think Hernandez, if he's I think he could go pretty far at middleweight. Obviously, he got fucking starched by Kevin Holland. There's no nothing wrong with that. Does make me think that maybe he's a bit sus, but still, Kevin Holland's powerful.
Yeah, and he got caught really early in that fight as well. And that's before he took that time off, before he came back into Vieira and shit. So.
Yeah. Did you ever see that video where apparently he like fucking vomited on like Jared Cannonier or some shit like that?
What, Hernandez?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard that.
Yeah, he did something fucked up like that to Jared Cannonier by accident. So hopefully we'll get that. They'll get to settle the beef in the octagon.
And then he can do Hernandez versus Paddy Pimblett first. He fucking throw up ones.
Oh my god, that video is so gross.
Yeah. People always think it's blood, though. It's not blood, which would make it a lot worse.
Oh, if that was blood, I'd be fucking concerned. I'd be surprised that he's still fucking alive now.
Yeah, he said he had a hot chocolate or something before he fought, and then it was just chocolate basically. But people thought it was fucking like his internal organs coming back up.
You excited for the Kurt Holloway Paddy Pimblett fight?
Yeah, yes. The fucking rural UK versus rural US. Yeah, Kurt Holloway, first one in the UFC is a tough finale. Well, fair play to him.
Yeah, I was glad he won it, mate. I like him. I like Kurt Holloway. He was really good on a tough, like, entertaining fights. Makes Lee Hammond's loss look really impressive because Lee Hammond was dominating him.
People said this. Lee Hammond should be booked for like week 10 of the Contender Series at this point. I don't know why he's not.
Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty high on Lee Hammond after seeing how he pretty much dominated fucking Kurt Holloway, especially to see Holloway go on to beat Jason Knight and Austin Hubbard. The way he did.
It's the IMAF guys. Lee Hammond's an IMAF guy, so it's quite good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What did you think of? We got to also talk about the Brad Katona, Cody Gibson fight.
Yeah, it was a fucking great fight. It was the best fight tonight, and Gibson fit like man. I did not when I looked at the bantamweights that were on that show. I did not think Gibson was going to make it to the fucking final over like Valiev and Hunter Azure and shit like that. But fucking hell, he did it. Fit play him. And he's getting signed anyway apparently, so that's no point of tough whatsoever. If you have a good fight, you get signed anyway. Like Gilmore had a fucking fight after tough as well, so there's no really any point of doing it. But I guess the accolade of becoming the first two-time tough runners a fucking big deal.
Yeah, it's such a like bittersweet fucking accomplishment to achieve. Though, just I've won tough twice, but I also had to go get cut from the UFC to win tough twice. But still, it is a good achievement for Brad.
You're probably the only guy for a while to ever do it as well. So it's something you can. It's something that's better than nothing, I guess. Like winning tough twice is a better achievement than like being a guy in the UFC who never got to the rankings. You know what I mean? I guess it's something.
The best part about Brad Katona winning and getting a UFC contract is we get to hear MMA Guru do a fucking impression of Brad Katona.
Yeah, Brad Katona have a fucking weird Canadian, American, Irish, whatever the fuck it is, mixed up accent.
He's like, I'm Brad Katona. He's like, I cut off my penis.
We did the promos and tough, and he always a bit like us. I am Brad. All I care about is Brad Katona winning the fight. He's right into his mind.
He's like, I'm Brad Katona. I had to cut off my. I can't even do the accent. He's like, I'm Brad Katona. cut off my balls. It's like, oh, I fucking lost it.
Wait, when did he say this? By the way, what the fuck?
Guru on his
Oh
stream.
right, I thought it
On
was
his
like
stream.
Katona. I was like, when the fuck did he say that? Like, did he send his post like interview or something? Like, he's a eunuch.
Nah, the whole time during the stream, every time you'd talk about Brad Katona, I'd be, I'm Brad Katona.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a man, so I cut off my balls. It's like I don't know what goes through his head when he goes through these impressions sometimes.
It does seem like the type though. Katona does have that kind of energy. Katona seems like the type of guy to maybe like mutilate himself and just see how human flesh tastes like. Do you know what I mean? He's one of them guys.
Oh, fucking fun fucking style though. Fun. That was a fun fight. He's improved his fight style definitely.
Well, and Tough was quite boring, but that the final at least came through.
Yeah, fucking just won that fight with pace, and Brad Katona's got a win over Bryce Mitchell, so
Yeah, and Kyler Phillips.
yeah, he's got some good wins. He could probably make a run at bantamweight at this point. You know, he lost to Marab as well, so it's not like he lost.
It was a
to
close fight as well. It wasn't even that one-sided.
And wasn't the Hunter Azure fight pretty competitive?
Yeah, I think that was considered a robbery at the time as well, from memory. I think.
Yeah, Hunter Azure, he's had a weird career. I remember watching him after he got cut from the UFC, and he lost to like some fucking like 9-4, like fucking US Army veteran in some like regional promotion.
I know, I seen that when I was looking at him going on Tough again. I checked that, and I had no idea he even fought when he left the UFC, to be honest. I seen that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So I was like thinking, okay, so this he shouldn't be in the UFC, but then he goes to Tough. He didn't even win his Tough fight, so yeah, it just shows.
Yeah. It was alright though. I mean, it was kind of, I don't know. I didn't expect him to fucking discount when he went decision with Jack Shawn. Sure, it didn't make much sense.
Fucking Jack Shaw's had a lot of fucking not much luck lately.
Yeah. I don't know why he's kind of had a lot of spells in inactivity recently, because I know that the weight cut, featherweight and stuff, he was trying to figure out how to bulk up properly. I don't know, he's no fought since March though. I don't know what's been happening.
I think he broke his hand.
Fair enough. The UK fighters curse. Break your fucking hand every fight.
Yeah, like Arnold Allen's fucking, when he's an old man, he's gonna have like no fucking bone in his hand.
It's gonna be fucking saggy skin just dripping off his side.
Because literally he breaks his hand every single fight. Like, oh, fucking hell. Like
without failure. Without failure every fucking fight.
Like literally, like I think he's probably got the world record for most broken hands. I don't know how he breaks his hand so much. Like, it's not that hard not to break your hand. He shouldn't wing fucking punches as hard as quick as he does. Like,
the first couple of times, I'm assuming it's just like it happened, and then you break it 3 times. It's probably got to break again quite easily.
Like, I think the Dan Hooker fight was the first time he didn't break his hand, and it was literally him winging fucking punches the most aggressively he ever has.
I remember Boogie saying that fight as well, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like I remember him saying that after the interview. He's like, I might have broke my hand, you know. I was like, my fight was about 2 minutes long. How you broke your hand again?
Like Bisping's like asking, did you break your hand? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, probably. All right, Arnold Allen, ladies and gentlemen.
Baby boy.
What are we doing, man? I just the fucking Bisping, right? Raptor, shut up, man. What the fucking lose my mind? Fucking 3% left.
Okay, yeah. Just the 2 impressions of fucking Bisping. We'll get Bisping fucking in the fucking reply. You really hate me, don't you? Like fucking,
yeah.
Like he did on the fucking Guru post.
He needs to shower is what he needs.
He's short, fat, ugly. Like, what the fuck?
Little scrotum.
Like, what? That was so personal. What the fuck did Guru do to him? Like,
fucking makes him feel fragile about his manlyhood, honestly, probably. Because he knows he's taller than him. Doesn't want to say shit about him.
Out of all the things, him calling him short as well is like fucking.
Yeah.
You know that hurt. You know that really pissed Guru off because he always mentioned that he's 6'3".
Definitely.
All right, before we make an enemy out of Michael Bisping, I guess we'll wrap this up. Yeah, so episode 5. That's episode 5 done. Hopefully, episode 6 will be sooner than the last.
Yep. You just message me and we'll do it, man. Anytime in the morning, I'm good.
Well, I guess we could do Thursday.
Yeah. I don't even know what day it is, to be honest, but yeah, Thursday works.
Yeah, today's Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, okay, Thursday works then.
All right, yeah, we'll get this going. We'll start doing some more episodes. All right, it was good to talk to you, mate.
Same to you, mate. As always, always the same to fucking Manus at the end, but it's good.
Yeah, we'll what can we do for the thumbnail for this video? We gotta keep the streak going with the thumbnails.
I'll put something together and I'll send it to you and you tell me. I'll work on. I'll know what I'm going to do. I'll send it to you. Tell me if you like it. I don't know, but it's I've got something in mind.
All right, easy. Sounds good, mate.
Okay, right, catch you later, mate.
Catch you.